Just finished watching episodes 6, 7 and 8 of your friendly neighbourhood Spider-Man. And guys, I need to eat my words. Last week I defended the animation style, saying it was worth the trade-off. Well, I was wrong. These episodes really showed the limitations, especially during dialogue scenes. The stiff character movements totally killed some of the emotional moments. But hold on. Before you click away, these episodes actually had some pretty incredible stuff to unpack. Let's start with episode 6. And oh boy, this one's a banger. We get Norman Osborn playing 4D chess at a charity gala for the Lagos recovery effort, making deals with Secretary Ross to help round up rogue superheroes. He even throws some random security guard named John Gallo under the bus as Spider-Man's secret identity. Trust me, remember that name. But the real highlight? The Spidey versus Daredevil fight. Charlie Cox is back as the man without fear, and it's just the animation team absolutely nailed the contrast between these two. You've got Spider-Man practically dancing through the air while Daredevil's throwing those brutal Street Fighter moves, and that Netflix Daredevil theme playing in the background. Pure nostalgia. Now, episode 7. This is where the show takes a sharp turn into some seriously dark territory. But before we get to the violence, there's this great scene with Nico and Harry in a drag race against Hot Rod. Keep your eyes on Nico's amulet during this scene. There's definitely something magical going on there. Oh, and if you're thinking that streamer covering the race looks familiar, that's because it's Clev. Yeah, the same guy from Shang-Chi and Homecoming. Then comes the Scorpion scene. If you thought this was just another kid-friendly Spider-Man show, McGargan's Rampage will change your mind real quick. The violence here sparked some pretty heated debates online about who this show is really for. But you know what? It works. It shows us exactly what's at stake for our teenage web-slinger. Episode 8 slows things down and gets psychological. But don't let that fool you. There's some serious setup happening here. While Peter's recovering in Oscorp's medical wing, pay attention to what's going on in the background. They're taking his blood samples, bringing in test animals, including a very interesting lizard, if you catch my drift. And speaking of villains, the Chameleon shows up wearing his comic-accurate mask, dropping intel about Otto's tech to the 110th Street gang. Trust me, that gang's going places. Wrecking Crew, anyone? Here's where Norman Osborn really starts showing his true colours. You know the classic Spider-Man line, with great power comes great responsibility? Well, Norman's version is, with great power comes great respect. If that doesn't set off your villain alarm bells, I don't know what will. The show's taking some big swings with the Spider-Man formula. Instead of Peter making his own suit, Harry helps him out. Norman's not just a mysterious bad guy, he's actively manipulating Peter through mentorship. And the MCU connections, they actually feel natural, not forced. Iron Man showing up to arrest Doc Ock? That's how you do a cameo right. The show's also amazing at planting seeds for future stories. From mysterious government agencies, hello damage control logo, to Otto potentially getting his hands on some pretty fancy metals. There's a lot brewing under the surface, but it's not all web fluid and roses. Remember that stiff animation I mentioned? It really hurts the Peter, Harry, Nico drama. These scenes should hit hard, but they end up feeling, well, animated, and not in a good way. The pacing also gets a bit wonky in episode 8. There's a lot of talking and not all of it lands. Here's the bottom line. Despite its problems, these episodes prove that your friendly neighbourhood Spider-Man isn't afraid to take risks. They're building something interesting here, even if the animation sometimes gets in the way. Plus, they've planted some serious seeds for future episodes. That lizard tease in Oscorp's lab? Comic fans, you know what's coming. What did you think about these episodes? Did you catch all the Easter eggs? Did the darker tone work for you? Drop a comment below and don't forget to smash that like button if you want more Spider-Man content.